Let's talk about what Canadians really get in retirement and how I'm rewriting my story using digital income. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Celine. I'm a nana of 3 grandchildren and I'm living in British Columbia, Canada. Even if you're anything like me, you might be wondering if what you're getting from the government is really going to be enough for your retirement. So today I'm breaking it down, what CPP, OAS, and GIS actually pay out and why there's such a big difference depending on your work history and also how I'm building digital income so I don't have to rely on those government pensions alone. All right, let's start with the CPP. That's called the Canada Pension Plan. This is one that you actually contribute to every time that you get paid. So if you're ever looking at your pay stub and see CPP deduction, that's what this one is. So the CPP is based on how long you've worked at your job, how much you've earned, and how much you've contributed between the ages of 18 and 65. So for example, let's take the first person who's worked for 40 years. So if you've contributed for a consistent 40 years, then you would hit the maximum contribution limits. So you could get up to $1,433 a month as of 2025. But most people don't hit the max. The average Canadian actually receives around $770 a month in CPP. So let's take number 2, the second person. They've worked for 20 years. So let's say you've worked 20 years and you had a lower income and your CPP could be around $700 a month in that case, or even less depending on the gaps in work history. So while it helps, it's far from enough on its own. All right, let's take a look at old age security, OAS. So this one isn't based on how much you've earned or how long you've worked. It's based on how long you've lived in Canada after the age of 18. So to get your full old age security, you need to have lived in Canada for 40 years after the age of 18. So if you've done that, you'll get about $728 a month. But if you've only lived here for 20 years after the age of 18, you'll only get half, so around $364 a month. That's a big difference, especially for newcomers, part-time workers, or women who have stayed home to raise their families. So let's talk about the Guaranteed Income Supplement. So the Guaranteed Income Supplement is available to low-income seniors who receive old age security, but here's the catch. There is an income test. So if your total income is low enough, the government will top up your old age security with the GIS. The maximum for a single person is around $1,086 a month. That drops quickly if you've even had a modest income, CPP, a pension, or savings. So in total, the most a single person might receive in CPP, OAS, and GIS is around $2,800 to $3,200 a month. And that's only if you meet the criteria for everything. And most people don't. So let's compare 2 scenarios. Person A has worked for 40 years, lives in Canada that entire time. So for this person, they could receive CPP of $1,433, OAS of $728, and no GIS because they were a higher income. So around $2,161 a month. Person B, who lives in Canada for 20 years, they would earn a lower income. They might receive 716 CPP, OAS of 364, and GIS of 1086 for a total of 2166 a month. So even with the GIS, it's pretty tight. And all of this is before taxes, rising costs, or unexpected expenses. And just remember, these are all averages because every person will be different depending on their situation. So let's talk about why I'm building digital income. So allow me to share something personal. I started saving late for retirement. I was raising a medically fragile child. And so during that time of my life, I couldn't work full time and then, of course, pay into CPP. During that time, I had to make choices of survival, caregiving, or a full-time income. And of course, my children won. By the time my son was stable, I was behind on retirement. And even though I had worked hard and saved over those years, the math just didn't work out. And I wanted to make sure that I don't outlive my money. So that's when I started looking for something more. I looked online and I found something called the Daily Pay Blueprint. Now, this is a fully automated online business and it's built for beginners, especially people 50 plus who want to earn digital income without chasing anyone to buy. So it is rejection free. So here's what I love about it. You only need a phone, Wi-Fi, and a couple hours a day. You pay a one-time fee, so there's no monthly subscriptions. You earn 100% profit when someone buys through you. So you get step-by-step training, even if you're not tech savvy. You can learn how to grow your email list, build a community, and create your own income streams. The best part, I'm not doing this alone. This is a real community. We celebrate wins together, we support each other, and we grow together. If you're sitting there thinking, I thought I'd have more saved by now, or I've worked so hard and now, is this all I get? You're not alone. I felt that way too. But you don't have to stay stuck. You can learn a new skill set. You can build something that brings you income now, not 10 years from now. And you don't have to do it alone. If you're ready to rewrite your story and learn a skill set that gives you more freedom in retirement and life in general, drop ready and I'll send you the exact blueprint that I'm using. You have more options than you think, and the best time to start is right now.